human beings. And we're back with 100 days of persuasion to land corporate clients. I really want to know which one of these tips so far has been your favorite. Has it been the ones to get attention of your ideal corporate prospect, or maybe the thing that you always need to do in your proposals to get to a yes faster? Well, I'm going to be sharing a new tip today on how to get to a yes faster, whether that's the yes to get them to speak to you or the yes to actually get them to say, yes, please work with us today. First of all, just in case for those people who haven't met me yet, I'm a former CFO, I'm a chartered accountant, and I run my own business consultancy, six figures while working part-time. But I also am really, really passionate about changing corporate culture, changing how people inside of corporates are treated. And that's what I do in my business. And because I'm so passionate about it, I want to help coaches and consultants like you who want to make a real big impact, want to reach lots of people and make a big impact on the world, get into corporate clients so that together we can, yeah, I dare say it, change the world a bit. Sounds good, right? I am definitely up for that. So today's little tip is a simple one. Simple insofar as we do a lot of it all the time, but to do it well needs to have some thought. So let me share this with you. I'm going to share my screen. And there we are. Okay, it's your waiter special with the summer drinks. And it's all about helping them to decide faster to work with you. Now, what is it all about? It starts off every relationship in business, in life really, starts off with building rapport, right? You see, building rapport, rapport establishes trust between you and your potential client. It's absolutely vital so that you get to know your client, and the more they get to know you, the easier it becomes the whole process of working with them. You Once they can trust you that you will find them the best solution to their challenges, then they will also trust you to listen to your ideas and advice. So it's all about building that important rapport at the beginning. Seriously, rapport is the gatekeeper for sales. But what does the research say about rapport? You see, research shows that you can build rapport through nonverbal communication. That's body language. You know, this thing that I'm doing with my my hands here all the time. Some people do a lot of that. Some people do a little. But this is all about non-verbal communication. And research into that has found that mirroring a person's words and body language increases rapport dramatically. Let me give you an example. If you are talking to somebody and they sit there like this, you will find it much harder to connect with them, to have a friendly conversation. So that's an extreme example of body language. I'm not saying that you should mirror them, but what you could do is if they're sitting like this, you could also sit like that, but a little bit more open, a little bit more friendly, and then open your position where you maybe lean forward a bit. That paces them, that gets them to think about, and instinctively humans do this, that they are most likely then also to undo their closed offness. Okay, just a little bit of background. The issue is all of this is hard to do when you're having most conversations over Zoom, right? It's difficult enough in an in-person situation, but once you are, remote from each other, it becomes really tricky. So the good news here is that we actually found that verbal and written communication, when you mirror that, it also works to build rapport. For example, it's a famous experiment that showed that waiters earn up to 70% more in tips when they repeat customers' orders back to them. So if you're in a restaurant and you give your order and the waiter repeats it back to you, they're essentially mirroring because they're repeating back your words to you. And the experiments have shown conclusively that these people are more likely, 70% more likely to get tips than the others. So, what does that mean? Why is this happening? You see, when we repeat someone's words back to them, this thing happens. First of all, people feel understood. And secondly, when they feel understood and feel the other person is like minded, they're attracted to them. See, the words and phrases that we use, they are very personal to us. We connect a lot of meaning, a lot of personal interpretation and importance to them. So, for example, imagine that you tell somebody and say, "Oh, I'm really angry about something." If they repeat back to you, "Oh, you're upset," that might just make you more angry because you go like, "No, I'm not upset. I am angry." So your interpretation of the word angry is much, much stronger than the milder one of you're upset. So when we're saying something and we put a lot of our communication into the words that we use, and if you want to build rapport quickly, repeat back the same wording to the person. Do not interpret, do not paraphrase too much. Don't go, "You're upset," when somebody is clearly seething with anger, but repeat them back in the same way. And you can do the same in writing. It doesn't need to be verbally. So feel understood. People feel understood when words are repeated back to them. The same that then shows that they feel understood, and that means, oh, if this person understands me, they must think like me, right? Obviously, if they can't think completely different to me if they properly understand me. So we think they are like-minded. And again, more research shows that this old saying of opposites attract, not true. Actually, we're much, much more drawn to people who are just like us. So helping your prospect, helping your client see that you are not so dissimilar to them, helps them to build rapport with you, helps you build rapport with them, and that increases your chance to get to a yes and get to a yes faster. Now, a quick word of warning, obviously, somebody could pipe up and say, "Oh, isn't this manipulation?" The good thing is that the human brain is actually quite good at understanding deception, which is why none of us like this image of the sleazy car salesman, right? So, like any other tool, I urge you to use it in a genuine and ethical way. But let me first, before we come to the end, let me first show how you can actually apply that to corporates. Because even though everybody complains about the jargon, everybody says, "Oh, management bullshit," it helps if you use some of the phrases and some of the language patterns that your prospects are using in your own communication, whether that's written, whether that's in phone calls, whether that's in actual in-person meetings. When you clarify the challenges, don't paraphrase it at all and all the time. You can paraphrase some of it, but don't paraphrase it all. Remember the example about the "I am angry, you're upset"? No, if they're saying "this is really annoying," then say, "Okay, I understand this is really annoying," not "this is slightly irritating," because they will not feel understood. Thirdly, add your unique insights. And here I'm going to share a quick story of when I was the head of finance in an organization and I had a very, very large consultancy working for me. They were supposed to sort out some issues that we had internally. And to be honest, they were the most irritating people ever because they took the idea of mirroring things back to me too literal. Because all they would do is they would interview people and then use word for word for word and sentence for sentence for sentence exactly what we had said. Just stuck it on a PowerPoint slide and presented to, to us as these great insights without adding anything else from their own perspective or their own ideas into it. And it was so irritating that, they lost the contract. I kicked them out of a £200,000 contract because I just could not bear them. So please make sure you add your unique insights, you add your unique thing that you bring to creating the solution. And that comes together, that you listen for the words that they use when they describe the solution that they want. So you might add your own insights, and then you take a step back and let them, repeat it back to you how they say it, and then you present your solution in those words based on your unique insight. I hope this was helpful and you can use it literally straight away now. Your next post, your next email, your next message, your next call. You can use it in all of that. And what's next for you? Well, if you want to work with corporate clients, but you are not sure how to get started, I help consultants identify exactly what they can offer, how to package it so that corporates can't wait to throw the budget at it, how to find the right prospects that are ready to buy, and how to have non-icky sticky sales conversations so that you can land 4 to 5 figure contracts in as little as 4 to 30 days. All the while, you can make a massive impact on the world. If that's you, if you're a coach who can get results for individual clients and you want to play a bigger game, then DM me to find out if you could sell to corporates and what your first steps should be. We'll have a very simple DM conversation to see if there is real potential, and well, the world could be your oyster. Can't wait to see you next. Bye.